At the risk of taking the bait, which is all this is, it's laying a little bait and might be just too attractive for me, so I got to get in on it, maybe just a little bit. I'm intrigued by the assertions of my colleagues who claim that the Hunter Biden violation of the subpoena scenario is the same as issuing subpoenas to 4 members of Congress. I'm intrigued by that. I really am. It's interesting. Had the illegitimate J6 group decided to enforce its dubious subpoena against me, my counsel was prepared to argue that service of that subpoena was insufficient. And so asserted to counsel for the J6 committee. Had the illegitimate J6 gaggle sought to enforce its subpoenas, my counsel, and I believe the counsel of each member of Congress who had been subpoenaed, ostensibly subpoenaed, putatively subpoenaed, would also have asserted successfully a privilege under the Constitution of the United States. Those questions never arose formally because the now defunct J6 committee, which has no authority anymore because it passed with the closing of the last session of Congress. I think that cabal surely understood that its tenuous claims, how tenuous its claims were, and chose not to try and enforce its questionable subpoenas. And now, why do I say that? I say it because in reporting to Reuters, the committee's own chairman, Benny Thompson, said this, quote, "There are some questions of whether we have the authority to compel testimony from Republican colleagues." He knew you didn't have that authority, but yet you still tried to assert it. Now, what's the distinction? Well, Hunter Biden has no claim to insufficiency of service of process. Why do we know? Because he stood on the lawn of the Senate the same day that he was supposed to be here and asserted publicly, hey, I'm supposed to be somewhere else. I'm supposed to be giving a deposition, but I won't do it. I won't do it. Secondly, Hunter Biden has claimed no privilege against testifying before this committee or the Judiciary Committee pursuant to the subpoena, except for the privilege that he has claimed throughout his life. And as the LA Times said about Hunter Biden, quote, "Biden is still on the nepotism gravy train," close quote. As the Daily Mail reported, quote, "Hunter admits he got $50,000 a month job on the board of Ukrainian gas company Burisma because of his family name," close quote. And it goes on and on. Again, the LA Times describes Hunter Biden as a, quote, "child of privilege," close quote. That's the only privilege Hunter Biden has ever asserted. He asserts that not that he should be exempt from testifying because there is some constitutional proscription, that even the chairman of this committee would agree to, as Benny Thompson agreed to on the J6 committee's issuance of subpoenas to members of Congress. No, he doesn't assert that kind of privilege. He asserts only the privilege that he does not need to come and testify before the United States Congress, who has issued him a subpoena. His attorneys acknowledge that subpoena, and he personally has acknowledged that subpoena for the simple reason that he is a Biden. So, where are we? Merrick Garland has authorized pursuing Republicans for contempt of Congress. He must also authorize prosecution of Hunter Biden. Failure to do so on the part of the Attorney General will show his contempt for Congress as well. But it will show even greater contempt for the American people who now recognize the weaponization of the federal government and the two-tier system promulgated by Democrats. Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Thompson's, to former Chairman Thompson's questioning of his own authority to actually issue subpoenas to members of Congress, Chairman Jordan requested legal analysis and authorities, but Chairman Thompson never responded. That committee could have pursued contempt if they thought there was valid subpoenas issued. and a contemptible a warranted contempt citation. They chose not to. Their authority expired, and ours is not expired. We should issue contempt. I yield back.